Here is how to get big as a skinny guy. So this photo was the first photo taken in mid-2020. This photo was very recent, taken in just after mid-2024. So a 4-year process. I'm going to explain how I've been getting on to go from Gollum 2.0 to a thicker, bigger version of myself. Why I did it, what was the constraints, and then how we actually managed to overcome it. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tom Sergey, and I run the Gorilla Platoon, which is an online physique transformation program where we get results like this, and it's kind of nice. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to go from skinny to bigger. Let's use that term. Now, the main reason why, for the longest period of time, I used to look like this was because I wasn't really doing the right stuff. So I used to be a physical training instructor for the British Parachute Regiment. They are the fittest across the British Army, and my job was to make sure they were fit. So I had to be real fucking fit, to tell you the truth, in order to do so. So we would carry, as you can see here, we've got like packs on our back. They weigh about like 16 kg, 35 pounds. And we'd be zipping it at like 11-minute miles for 10 miles up and down hills and all that good stuff. So had to be light on the foot, okay? But you're burning a shit ton of calories when you do this, and you are very, very aerobic, let's just say that. So it kind of goes the polar opposite against what you're trying to do when you're trying to build muscle. Simultaneously to that, my overarching goal, I just love the idea of moving as much load as possible, probably because I couldn't really get that big. As much as I did try, and I did like powerlifting competitions here at about, I think there's about 200 kg on this bar at like when I'm like 69 kg, so naturally quite strong. Legs always seem to grow quite well for me, as you can see from here, not the ball sack, but the upper body was always a massive struggle. And like climbing mountains and like being at high altitudes, that wasn't a massive struggle for me. So we summited Kilimanjaro in the back end of 2019, so just before this photo was taken. This photo is 2017, this photo is 2017, this photo 2019, this is 2020. So what I'm getting at with this is you can lift heavy weights, you can be a absolute human lung. It doesn't mean you're going to have a lot of muscle. I'm a walking example of that. You can be fit, you can be strong, you can be good at performance, but ultimately that's nice, but if you don't look how you want to look, it's kind of void. Like, realistically. So the message to this is kind of cut the cardio down. Don't focus on heavy weights and focus on specific hypertrophy training. However, you want to take the mindset of being able to train really fucking hard into what I'm going to tell you to do next. So this was my story. This is why I was like 69, 70 kg, and struggling to really put on tissue. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd been training for a while at this point. Like, I actually had been training for ages. You could just say in the wrong direction and not really with the correct nutrition to get me to where I needed to be. Now, one thing I will say is one of the biggest limiting beliefs, or one of the biggest reasons why skinny guys are skinny and struggle to bulk up, is because they are too scared of losing their midsection and their abs. If you look at this shot here, like, I've always had thick, deep, big, blocky abs, probably because of the millions of sit-ups we had to do in the army and just like carrying weight. So my midsection was strong. Always had a good solid six-pack. The problem is, if you've always been that guy, you see yourself as like an athlete guy with a six-pack and it's kind of nice, you're not going to get big if you always want to hold on to your six-pack. And I can tell you that right now. You have to be, and the message from these photos here is comfortable being uncomfortable. These are all photos of me at peak bulk. This is the first ever bulk I did, where we went from this to this, which was probably the greatest, like, zero to hero work. This photo, I believe, was taken best part of a year later. Actually, a little bit sooner, probably March 2021, after I did anyone know Jeff Nippard? I followed his power building traded split. We've got like strong lifts as well as like hypertrophy training. It's the first time I ever tried creatine monohydrate and a calorie surplus. So these were two things I hadn't tried, and it put the greatest impact onto my physique to begin with. But as you can see here, softer around the midsection. I think this photo in many ways does me a bit more justice. I felt very uncomfortable and very, very soft. And look how fucking round my head is. like really, really round, especially compared to like how it used to be here, like a really, really round fucking moon head. So that was probably one of the most uncomfortable points I'd ever been for. So I did cut down off the back of this. I don't have a photo of the previous cut off the back of it because it wasn't really that exciting. But then I've done another bulk since. This was last year's bulk. So here I'm about 83 kg. Nice. Here, I actually didn't run creatine this time, and I've never really taken it since, to be honest. I don't know why. I take it if I'm dieting down. I don't really take it if I'm bulking up because I just find it really softens me up, and mentally, I don't think that does me any favours. Here, the next bulk, I got to 88 kg, which is nice. And again, soft as fuck, like real soft, smooth, like the softest I'd ever felt in my life. And like, again, face is mooned out like a big cheese block. Not nice at all. And then this is this year's bulk. I'm actually 88 kg in this analogy again, but the reason why I look better this time, maybe a touch tighter, although I'm kind of hiding the bottom of my midsection of my hands, let's be honest, is because I've built more muscle, because each time you cut back down, you have more muscle from that bulk you've just done. A lot of you may think, I don't really want to bulk, I just want to, what's the other alternative? Honestly, if you look like this, you do not have a choice. You can try and do it my way, which I've done in the past, which is train in the gym, eat okay, still do a lot of output. You won't get bigger, mate. I tell you right. From my experience, it really did not work. Only until I committed to a solid plus 500 calorie surplus did things really start to move. If you don't eat, you're not going to grow. That's the long and short of it. Like, you must get comfortable being uncomfortable. You must get comfortable accumulating some body fat over the course of your bulk. But again, like, look at the body fat percentages. Like, I mean, to be honest, like, take that to the average person, we're probably about 17 or so % body fat. Here, at least 19, 18, probably maybe touching 20. You can still see some lines here and where the top two abs will be. Same in this position here, see some lines and see where the top two abs will be. The point of the matter is, I'm far away from 10% because I've accumulated body fat across these gaining phases. But you must get comfortable being uncomfortable. You must get comfortable eating like a fucking mule. You've seen I've done the video of what I eat in a day, and right now we're eating 5k calories. It's not fucking nice, but you just got to get it in. Now, always remember, though, it's not the calorie surplus that is actually going to get you bigger. The calorie surplus supports what you do in the gym, and the fact you get strong as an ox in the gym, that's how you really get bigger. You were here to build muscle, right? But if you don't eat enough to drive new training stimulus and you don't eat enough to recover from what you did, you're not going to grow. You must understand that. So absolutely a big calorie surplus is necessary if you're trying to get bigger. But you must understand the work is done in the gym. If you just eat a big calorie surplus, you will only get fat. And when you cut back down, you won't have that much to show for it, which is a bit unfortunate. So you must understand, you have to train like an absolute animal. Too many people are tickling weights. They are absolutely tickling weights. If you want to know if you're tickling weights or not, go watch my video. It's like, are you training hard enough? And there's an example set that will show you. The long and short of that is, if your last rep is taking around 3 seconds, you're in a good space. If you're shooting up in 1 or 2, you could lift more. So lift fucking more, right? So then off the back of the bulks, you get the cuts. So, excuse me. This was obviously the starting point. Nice. This was off the back of, you could say, this bulk here, that then went into this. Now, this is arguably the most shredded I'd ever been, and I had more muscle. Like, if you look at the shoulders and even the traps a little bit, and the chest, we had more muscle, and we were absolutely skinned out lean on this one, like really, really lean. And that was then led me into this bulk here, which we then dieted down from and ended at this shot here. Considerably, I'm not as lean in this shot as I am in this shot, but for sure, the chest has improved, the delts have improved, the traps have improved, the arms have improved. Granted, though, this is a slightly different pose. But the point of the matter is, we had to get uncomfortable to then come back up. So 69-ish, 73 or 72, in between, I think 72 actually, and then 75. So we can see the improvements. And it's not like there's only 6 kilo of pure muscle difference between the two shots. And like you can see, you look infinitely better. Now we're at this shot here. And today I'm 89, so we need to keep pushing to around 95. Last time we were 88. Do the same form of a cut. We want to have another photo next to this one where we're close towards 80 and we'll look infinitely better when we're around 80 kilo. I'm only 5'7" or 8, 173 centimeters. I think it's 5'8". Either way, not fucking tall either way. But the point is, like, I'll look a lot at 80 kg and that height. I'll be sound. I'll look just how I'm after. A lot better than this. So we must understand that you're going to have to go through these phases of bulking and cutting. Like, if you want to get big, the long and short of it is you need to go through this. So when you cut back down, you're going to look more like this. And how you really compare is how did you look here versus how you look here. We keep comparing the shots against each other. So eat like a motherfucker. Train like an absolute demon. Every time you train, it is war. Cut down on the cardio. Stop trying to climb mountains, especially if you're in a bulk. If you're just about to hit a cut, then be my guest. If you're sat around these, you can go summit a mountain. You'll be all right. But yeah, don't try go for 1 rep maxes, 3 rep maxes, 5 by 5s. Don't do any of that. Just simply train in hypertrophy, 8 to 10 rep range. Get stronger session after session after session, and eat in a big boy calorie surplus, and you will grow like a garden weed. I always thought I just couldn't build muscle. I don't know what it was. I just thought, it's just my body type's just not meant to build muscle. Everybody can build muscle. You must just force it into its place. So don't bitch your off seasons. That's one of the big messages here. Just commit to it. Go and accumulate as much tissue as you can. Get as big and as heavy as you possibly can. Because when you diet back down, you're going to be showcasing more of you. The point of the matter is, the difference between this guy and this guy is a pebble and this guy is more like a boulder. Be a boulder, so when we chisel at the boulder, we can create a statue. If I'm chiseling at a pebble, I'm not creating a statue. I'm going to create some fucking, well, I don't know what you can create from a pebble. A fucking gift for your missus or some shit, but not that much, all right? So that's what I'd be doing. This is my story, how I ended up in this position, the process of misery I've been through to get there, and then where we are so far, and I look forward to showing you. It won't be till next summer by the time the next cut comes around. Why? Because I'm just embracing the off-season. That's what you should do. Sit in a gaining phase for like a fucking year. You might need to do a clean-up phase midway through it, or 3/4 of the way through it. Do the clean-up. Just don't let go of the cute abs. You can get them back really fast. Like, to go from this to this, I think 14 weeks. It's not that long, right? It's really not that long in the case of dieting. So we must understand, if you want to get jacked, you're going to have to spend a good year in an off season. You have to train like an absolute animal, eat like a horse, and you will improve. Your own limiting beliefs are the only reason why you can't do this. So get after it, show me progress photos, and let's see you all get jacked watching this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.